Good morning, Philippines, and good morning, the world. So, my boat motor come in. Now, I have a boat sitting outside back here that is a local made in Manila fiberglass, what they call speedboat. It's more or less just a big pleasure and fishing boat with an outboard motor. They're not so common in the Philippines, but they're growing. It's growing. This is an older one. It's like my Hilux Surf. I bought it as a hobby, something to do here. They're not easy to come by, and it was something I could fix up, pass my time here and enjoy, and eventually get out on the water and be able to go faster and further distances and than that old native pump boat that I have, which is really great too. It has its benefits, especially beaching it. It has its benefits. Now, like my friend David over in Bicol, he's hunting out for an aluminum boat like this, like a speedboat, as they call in the Philippines a speedboat. Basically just an aluminum boat with an outboard motor. He has a certain style he wants. But once again, the benefit out of that is that he can beach that up without doing a lot of damage like you would to this fiberglass boat of bringing it up on the beach. Lightweight, low maintenance, not much painting or anything like that. Really no painting if it's a raw aluminum boat. So that would be wonderful, but those are very hard to find. I bought a secondary outboard motor, and I bought this motor. When I say a secondary, I don't mean running twin at the same time. I mean, if my main engine went down on me, I can drop down this smaller motor, start it up, and cruise on in at a slower speed, of course, but I can get on in and get to safe harbor. Another thing about it is if you want to just troll, you can raise up and kill your big engine and drop that one in and troll if you're fishing, or maybe you're up into more shallow waters or something. You just want to move along slow. So that's another beneficial thing of that. But the main thing for me is redundancy, backup. You do not want to get out on this water out here from me and the engine die and you get caught with these winds like it's blowing today, and you go drifting out to sea. Because let me tell you, this is a big sea here. We're at Sulu Sea, which opens up the China Sea. You don't want to get lost out in that. We know some fishermen, I think it was earlier this year, that their pump boat quit on them and they went to drifting, didn't have a cell phone with them or nothing. And it was 2 weeks before they were found. So here we have it, all well crated. Yamaha Enduro 25 horsepower. Includes the gas tank, includes the cables, shifter as well here. They're rare, they're imported, they're not sold in mass numbers like in the US, so they are hard to come by. So as you can see, I have basically the same motor as my main engine here, Yamaha Enduro, but this one is a 115. Now it's more than enough to carry this boat. This is a kicker motor bracket. The outboard mounts right here on this big black part of the plastic, and it'll mount right here to the side of the main engine. And what you do is you pull this lever and you drop this engine down, and it's notched for different levels that the motor can go down, and you'll drop that motor down into the water when you want to use it. Hello, so here we are. I've got some stuff laid out here that I wanted to show you what all that I have brought from the United States here, or I've ordered it online or my friend Noel down in Jinsan also helped me gather up a few of these things. So let me show you what I've got here. You have to be careful carrying extra fuel. Boats are rocking, shifting. If you're carrying cans like that and they're not proper marine cans and that fuel leaks out, that boat can explode out on the water. It is not like dealing with these diesel pump boats. This gas is volatile, it's dangerous. You need to have proper fire extinguishers on there, but the number one thing is you cannot be dangerous with these boats like you get away with the diesel. The diesel's not so explosive. So, no shoddy fuel lines, no leaking, dripping fuel. When you run gasoline engines, it has to be safety, everything A-class. So now let's move on. I ordered these shift cables out of the US and they come in, once again, Yamaha Premier cable here. And these are my shift cables for your throttle and your forward and reverse. I have current ones on it now. They were a little long for what should have been in that boat. Somebody tried to put a curl in them, which makes them stiff. They were not the right cable length for this boat that I have out here. So I measured it up. I hope I got it right, and I ordered brand new shift cables. So there they are. Now I have the old ones, and they still work. I might be able to use them someday in another boat, a longer boat. I'm going to hold on to any of this marine stuff here. Now on the play side of things, I have been amassing fishing gear. Now I don't have everything I need, but I'm just gathering it up, preparing for the day that I'm ready to start this endeavor. All kinds of large hooks, steel leader lines, rigging wire, like I say, rigging needles, lures. I just brought these from the US this trip. These are artificial squid right here. Really good hooks on them. And to catch squid themselves, real squid, I got these glow in the dark. These glow in the dark squid hooks. Those squid will reach up and grab around that right there, get caught on it, and you got you one. Glow in the dark because squid are attracted to light. So if you got those shining down the water, most likely a squid's going to come up and grab them. A few fishing reels. I need to source long poles here, good long fishing poles here. Still working on that, but I've got me a couple reels, scale, more steel leader lines, a throw net for bait, some small fishing gear for small setups like those fishing poles there. So I'm trying to set up for a little bit larger fishing and small fishing. Of course, you want things like a Leatherman knife and another knife, pliers, needle nose, things like that for removing hooks. I suggest wearing gloves. Always be careful with these fish. Some of them have very sharp teeth, and they're not a joke. So, days you don't feel like fishing, I've always been a water nut. So, my wife, I got her started with tubing in the US. So we sent over a tube to pull out on the water plane. We also sent a ski rope. I'm gonna send some other gear over, some knee boards and wakeboard and all here as well. Now over at our house, I have stored away a lot of life jackets. I just showing these just as a few examples. We have some newer zip up style that are made more out of like that foam feeling. These are just a few extras I'm gonna have on the boat. I may or may not cover yet, I don't remember, this back bracket right here. This is for the kicker motor, the motor I showed there. This mounts onto the back of the boat. You'll drill in, put stainless steel bolts through, seal it good, has a release lever, drops this backup engine down the water when you need it. This is for test running the boat. These clamps around the back of the motor, hook a water hose on, fire that motor up, test it out of the water without overheating it. It's not like these diesel motors here in the Philippines that are air cooled. This is a water cooled engine. And another reason you want to have these is after you've been running in the salt, you do not want to leave that salt sitting in this engine. It will be detrimental on it over time. So always flush, 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 flush. So I bought these more than anything to flush that motor every time it comes in. Now, belch pump, y'all call them pump boats, hand pumping. This is an automatic belch pump. It sits in the bottom of the boat to pump out any water that builds up in the bottom while you're just operating it in daily use. Pumps it out a tube out the side of the boat. They're inexpensive. It doesn't hurt to have two of them or a backup. These things can go out or get clogged up. A little piece of trash get in it. It's better to have redundancy on these as well. Now, back to the fishing gear. I got these green fishing glow lights. These are submersible. You hook them up to a battery. You drop these in the water. Once again, the fish at night are attracted to that light, and the squid and fish as well will both come in attracted to that. I bought a couple of these LED rechargeable spotlights. They're waterproof. You can't say enough about having good dependable flashlights on a boat when you're out, especially at night. Even in the day and something happens, then you end up getting stranded at night. So this has an AC and DC charger. I can charge it off the boat's batteries if need be. Navigation lights. This is a LED one. It'll be going on front of the boat and replacing the old one that's on there with a new LED. These bright spotlights right here, I'm as well putting on the boat. It helps see when you're coming into some places in the dark. It also fishing, signaling for help. These are super bright. They're just all around good to have. They don't pull a lot of power. There's an old style large light on the front of that boat now. I'll be replacing that with these more up-to-date LEDs. So now this is just for enjoyment. I don't know if this is really a great unit, but it's inexpensive pretty much, and it's stereo. So this is something I wanted. It's waterproof speakers, it's remote, it's waterproof radio, and it has weather band. I don't know if that's really going to help here, but see, it has the marine coating. Protect it, shouldn't corrode. You can't not put a regular car stereo out in one of these boats, especially at salt water. Maybe at fresh water if it's kept dry. Salt water, it don't matter dry or not, the salt's in the air. It will destroy this radio if it was a standard car stereo. This is a marine coated marine radio. Has USB and SD reader. So that's just for enjoyment. Now for safety again, I brought from the US 2 West Marine VHF radios. Now I do have to get a long antenna for these. I have a short one. I want to get 2 long whip antennas to put out for these. These are tested. They came from right there in Rockwall, Texas, near where I live. The company distributes and checks these and services them, and I'm really happy to get these and have these here. Just safety, safety, safety. I'm all about the safety. So continuing on, that boat when I bought it had manual cables, regular old stiff cables, cable kind of like that, only very large for steering that boat. Well, I really didn't like it that much, and it really wasn't the right length cable as well. So I ordered a hydraulic steering set. Has a hydraulic cylinder across the back that push and pulls for left and right, hydraulic hoses, the oil, the valve, steering control, all your little fittings, clamps, everything's in this kit. Template where to cut your holes. Here's this is where your steering wheel will go right here once you mount this up through. your hydraulic lines will all connect where you see these caps on there right now. Hydraulic pump. It's another thing I'm glad to have for that boat. It makes it easy steering. You don't have to fight it very much. It's a very nice thing to have. It had an old steering wheel. I didn't like it that much. I went ahead and ordered and bought a brand new steering wheel as well. But these are just a few of the things that I've been gathering for this boat project. Wait, I forgot one more thing for fishing gear. Another piece of valuable fishing gear is right here. A drone. You can fly out with this drone, even right above you and out from you, and spot fish. You can see where they are at and drop a hook right in on them. So, another valuable fishing gear right there. Now, for all my Western American viewers and friends that watching these videos I post, I know this is everyday commonplace stuff to have all this things I just showed you. It's our normal life there, just like the pump boats and the diesel motors and outriggers and all that's their normal life. Having all this gear on our boats is our normal life and beyond. I know I'm in a foreign country. You know, they say when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Well, I just want to be a little more expedient getting out, a little bit more comfort going fishing. Not saying their boats are not capable. They are very capable. For me, it's hard moving around, being real agile on those boats. I'm a tall guy, I'm a heavier guy. With this wide 28-foot fiberglass boat, I can walk all around in it, no problem. I'm not climbing up and around and over and down in the bottom and up and dodging ropes and cables and all these different things. Little Filipinos, no problem, man. They can just dart up and around through everywhere. And I like to share these things to where, with the emerging economy here, that maybe some of these Filipinos want a style boat like this, and or better, definitely maybe better than mine. And they'll understand some of these gears and the importance of having them. Safety gear, I'm gonna tell you, safety gear. That's where it's at, safety gear. So until the next video, take care, go have fun.